2. Okay, so weekly mastermind again, guys. We're here. We're live. We're going to target nutrition today. Nutrition is a massive area, but before we go that, the webinar is called Becoming Unstoppable. So Becoming Unstoppable is a nice heading. It's something that sounds fucking cool. It's something that we probably all really want, and something that we'd love to be called. So Becoming Unstoppable is a quick reminder. There's no point fucking being excelling in one area of your life and then all the other areas are nowhere near the same level. So when we think about our areas, let me remind you what I'm talking about. So we're talking about body. So body is your nutrition and your body shape and fitness. So then you've got your balance. So that's the balance of your life. So that's the balance of your relationships with your partner, your friends, your kids, your family. Okay, you've got your business. So that's your job and your money. They're two big things. Two big things that can cause a shitload of stress if they're not right. People tell me that money doesn't make you happy. But I tell you what, my answer to that is when I haven't got money, I'm always far more stressed than I am when I have got money. So we've got body, we've got balance, we've got business, and we've got being. So being is what's happening in here. So between your ears, in that space, what's happening there? Because in here can be your biggest fucking obstacle. It can be your biggest obstacle. I trained a girl today. She's only just started the gym, and I must have asked her to do 10 things, and for every one of those 10 things she told me that she couldn't do it. So she told me she couldn't do it for every single one, and lo and behold, every single one, after a little bit of a nudge from me and a little bit of a kick up the arse, she actually did them. And she texted me later on in that day and said, "Thanks for believing in me. I'm sorry for being so negative." And this is the problem. A lot of the problem is that your being, which is your mindset and stress levels, by the way, but mindset is what you believe you are capable of. What you believe you are capable of. Because, like I've always said, the problem is a lot of you surround yourself with little people. Little people that have little expectations for you. So when you hit those little expectations, everyone gives you a hoorah, a well done, and then you stay in that little zone. When I told you last week and the week before that there's another level. There's another level of people that are out there that would set higher expectations for you. This is why you don't set goals with friends. You don't set goals with loved ones. You set goals with people who want the best for you, and want you to improve as much as possible. And they're not really that caring and loving towards you. So like your partner, they'll put your arm around you and tell you everything's okay if you didn't quite do something, and they'll justify the reason with you. They'll tell you everything's okay, that you didn't do it next time, when it does matter. Every time you miss something, it does matter. Because missing, stopping, quitting, every time you do them, becomes a habit. Just like the good things become habits, the bad things become habits as well. And every time it becomes a habit, it's like a muscle. Every time you use it, I'm going to show you, not that I've got muscles, I haven't got muscles like Alan Thorogood, but every time you use it, every time you pump it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the same with every time you quit, every time you stop, it becomes that habit becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not a problem, it's not the fact that you stopped, but what you need to look into is the obstacle that made you stop. What was the reason that it got that hard that you couldn't carry on anymore? What is the reason? Why did it get that hard? Because you were able to do it to a certain point. So, before I go on to the nutrition side of things, today I'm going to show you, so this is my to-do list. Okay, so hopefully you can see it on the screen. I don't want you to read everything on there, but you can see that I've scribbled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. 8 things from that to-do list. And there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's still 10. So there's 18 things on my to-do list today. So I got completed 8. As you can see, I'm not bullshitting you, I didn't write this before. And there was 10 things that I didn't get done. One of the things that you need to start doing is protecting your personal confidence. So what I mean by that is sometimes you might not hit your targets. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying that's okay, because if you've got certain levels and you're consistently not hitting your targets all the time and you're missing sessions, blah 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 blah, then no, it's not okay. But there are certain times where you need to look and pull out a positive from what you've actually done. So here on this list, I've done 8 things today. 8 things. So imagine, I'm going to get my calculator out here. So imagine if I did 8 things, 8 times 360. So if I did 8 things every single day for a year, that would be 2,920 things. So imagine how much better off my life would be in 1 year if I just did 8 things per day. I know 8's quite a lot, but where I'm going with this is that a lot of us would focus on the 10 that we didn't do. So instead of focusing on the stuff that you did do and that was positive and that was getting you closer towards your goals, all you thought of, it's like when people get weighed in and they hit a £2 mark and they tell me, oh well, I would have liked 4. Okay, well, what about the 2 that you've lost? What about all the positive things you've done this week to result in that £2 loss? Yet all you're thinking of is, I could have done a little bit more. I wanted more. So you're putting a downer on yourself instead of focusing on, like I said, the positives. What did you get done? What did you get done this week? What was positive? So the cool thing is every day before you go to sleep, I want you to sit there and think about 3 or 4 positive things that you've done today. Because do you know what? When you think about it, when you think about the positive things, it builds confidence. And I'm telling you now, people only want to lose weight, get fitter, become leaner, lighter. Do you know what? They don't want it for the numbers. They want it for the feeling that the numbers give them. They don't want a certain weight. They want a feeling that gets attached to that. So they want to feel confident again. Confidence is the key around most people's reason why they're training. Because they want confidence. And whether it's the 9 stone brings them confidence, or a 1 stone off brings them confidence, or being able to run 5k brings them confidence, or being able to lift 100 kilos brings them confidence, it's the confidence within themselves that they want. It's got nothing, absolutely fuck all to do with the numbers. Yep, they help. They give you guidelines. They tell you, the numbers tell you, is what I'm doing working? Is what I'm doing actually working? So if the numbers don't reflect where you want to go, and you are giving the program 100%, then you have to stop the program, because the only reason why we do a program is to get an outcome. And if that program's not getting you there, then you need to stop. This is why it's key to get feedback. So these people who are just training, and for example, they only use the mirror. Okay, that's cool. The mirror is one way of analysing what's going on with your body. But when you're analysing yourself in a mirror, it's easy to stay safe. It's easy to not look at every area. So when you're looking in the mirror, there's no one to analyse. There's no third party to analyse it for you. So it's just your opinions of yourself, and you can play it safe. That's why it's far more powerful to get weighed by someone else, to get measured by someone else, to have your pictures done by someone else, because you're far more likely to be successful. So, becoming unstoppable, guys, you need to look at all those areas: your body, your being, your balance, your business, and you need to start protecting your personal confidence. So one of the reasons that I feel most overlooked reason why you cannot lose weight is because you simply don't track your food and you're eating more than what you think you are. Over and over and over again, I deal with people who tell me that they are eating, that the food's not a problem. So I said, well, how do you know? How do you know that your food's not a problem? Can you show me some evidence? Can you show me some numbers? Can you give me some feedback? No, I just know. Well, it just isn't good enough. It isn't good enough, because if your body shape is telling a different story, so i.e. being overweight, unhealthy, not very fit and strong, yet you're telling me you're doing the training, you're eating the right food, you're eating the right amounts, something doesn't add up. And usually the liar is you. The liar is usually you. Whether you mean to or not, whether you want to tell the whole truth or not, the liar is usually you. And I always get concerned as to why people won't track their food. Because remember, you're a walking, talking billboard. Okay? If you're overweight and unfit, it's telling you that your lifestyle currently isn't right. Talking about people who are doing things that are wrong. I had a guy that cancelled his gym membership today. Yep, I'm okay talking about that. He cancelled his gym membership, so he'd been a member for about 2 months. He'd got to his goal weight. He was fitter than ever, stronger than ever, actually enjoying fitness, which is cool because you've got to enjoy it. And he decided that he doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to try something different. So this guy has produced the result that he wants, is fitter than ever, stronger than ever, enjoying his fitness, yet wants to try something else. and that's not a problem. But if what you are doing is working, whether it be a diet that you're on, whether it be a exercise program that you're doing, if what you are doing is working and it's producing the result that you want, you'd be fucking crazy to change it. Because if you're still getting results from what you're doing, you do not need to change what you're doing. The only reason why you've got to change what you're doing is when the results slow down or come to a halt. So if you're not improving in your fitness, you're not improving in your strength, the scales aren't telling you what you want to see, or your body fat levels haven't gone down, whatever it may be, as soon as they slow down or stop, that's when you change your program. And I'm always worried for people when they're very, very, very successful at a place like this guy is with us, and then they stop to change. Because I've had experience of people just falling off the bandwagon and results going in reverse. Because like I said, if a system is working and it's getting the results and you're happy with it, don't change it. So let's get on to the nutrition side of things, guys. So hopefully you're able to see what I can see. So I want to change shit. Where do I start? So change, guys. Change with nutrition. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is the five areas you need to look at your with regards to your nutrition to be most successful. So when we put stuff from most important to least important, because a lot of you are focusing on areas that aren't really that as important as other areas, you're better off putting your attention into the area that's going to produce the best result, not concentrating all your efforts on the areas that give minute results. One thing before I go into that is when a lot of you are putting all your effort into the exercise, but you're not putting the same amount of effort into your nutrition, and you're still persisting on the fact that you would rather exercise for hours upon hours upon hours than control your nutrition. The problem is, when you exercise for hours and hours and hours and hours, it fatigues you. You get tired, you get mentally drained, physically drained. But controlling your nutrition doesn't do that to you. So why would you want to go to the gym for 2, 3, 4 hours when it would be a lot easier to just control your nutrition a bit better? Because like I said, it's a lot easier to not eat that extra 600 calories than it is to go and row for an hour to burn it. And like I said, when you're relying upon exercise all the time, your body starts getting drained. You start getting tired. And in the mornings you wake up and everything's aching from head to toe all the time, just because you're over-exercising, just because you're compensating for a poor nutrition plan. And if one more person tells me, oh, it's because I love food, you don't understand, I'll shoot them. You've got me on video now telling you that I will shoot them. Because why is it that, like, just because I eat quite healthily, I don't eat perfectly, I eat healthily, just because I eat healthily, why does that mean that I don't love my food? Does loving your food just mean that the ones that eat shit? I'm putting that out there, guys. Is it only the ones that eat shit that love their food? Because I love my food. I love eating. So Let's rock it. So we've got a hierarchy, guys, so you can see this coming up on the screen now. So it's a simple hierarchy of healthy fat loss. Okay, so this is fat loss, not weight loss. Okay, so on the bottom in the red it says calories. So that's the single biggest factor of you producing results. Calories. Calories in versus calories out. If you're not tracking them, then you haven't got a clue what you're eating. And if you haven't got a clue what you're eating, how do you know that what you are eating is less than what you're meant to be eating? How do you know? Because guessing, again, when you're guessing, you're biased towards yourself, and you only think of all the good stuff that you've eaten. You don't think about the bad stuff, or you won't admit to the bad stuff. But when you're recording it down, you're far more likely to track things properly. And like I said, you can bullshit it in any way, shape or form that you want. You can bullshit it. You can lie. But again, like I said, always, your body is a walking, talking billboard and a true reflection of what you're actually doing. So like I said, if you're telling me you're eating less calories, you're hitting your protein, you're doing the exercise, and you're still drastically overweight, I know you're a fucking liar. And the sooner you become honest with yourself and have a realization of your current reality, then you can move on, then you can start attacking it. There's nothing wrong with admitting where you've got downfalls, but there is something wrong with lying about it and pretending that it doesn't exist and you've got your head in the sand. So the first most important thing is calories. I'm going to go into that deeper in a second. The second most important thing is that you hit your protein. Third most important area is your carbs and your fats. Fourth area is your nutrient density. I'm gonna explain these posh words for you as well. And the least important area is the timing and meal scheduling. So when I say least important, I mean it produces the least result. It produces a result, but it doesn't produce as much result as if your calories weren't in the right in the right amount, or your protein wasn't right. So what we need to accept, guys, that we must put things into a priority. Okay, the reason why people haven't got time is because they don't prioritize things. And the people who prioritise things such as meal prepping every Sunday, spending time meal prepping at the end of the day, ready for the next day. It's the people that just go and watch telly, go straight to bed, wake up in a rush, grab anything, rush to work, or they haven't had breakfast, rush to work, and they grab something at work which usually isn't great. And it can go on and on and on. It's because they don't prioritise things. You've got to have good time management. And like I said, the sooner you accept that there is someone out there, you might think that you've got the hardest life known to man, that you've got a few kids, you've got a job, your husband might work away, or your wife might work away, and everything's a lot harder for you. I guarantee you there is someone out there, or someone at the gym that's in the same situation as you that's coping with it. They might not be smashing it, but they're coping with it and dealing with it in the best way, rather than giving in to circumstances and accepting, well, I can't do anything about it because he's away or the kids are there. There are solutions to every problem if you want it, but you've got to put it in priority. And the sooner you stop diverting all your attention to everyone else, because like I said, what a lot of us are guilty of is we want our kids to be massively successful, we want We put all our effort into them. We put our effort into our partner, our house, and all of our business, and all of a sudden we completely forget about ourselves. And then we think, well, when was the last time I actually achieved something just for me? When was the last time I hit one of my goals? When was the last time I made people proud of me? Instead of me being proud of everybody else and being there for everybody else and supporting everybody else, encouraging everyone else, when's it going to be about me? When are people going to encourage me? When are they going to be proud of me? When was the last time someone told you, someone close to you told you that they were proud of you? And trust me, when someone says that, it makes you feel fucking on cloud nine. Makes you feel amazing. But when was the last time you did something and prioritised yourself and did something great for you? I don't want you to answer me, I just want you to think about it. When was the last time someone pulled you to one side and said that they were proud of you? So everything has an importance level. Everything has a hierarchy of importance. The problem is that you put yourself low, you put your health low, and all of a sudden, some weeks go by, months go by, and all of a sudden you've gained a few pounds, everything's feeling a little bit harder, you're out of breath a little bit more, you might have gone up a dress size, you're not feeling as sexy, you're not feeling as confident. All of this starts happening because at one point you did prioritise yourself, and all of a sudden you've prioritised everyone else, and everyone else is improving, and unfortunately you've put yourself in the back burner, and your body, your experience, your mindset, and it all reflects that because it's at an all-time low. So you need to get away from complicated plans. Who likes being told they can't do this, can't do that, you can have this, you can't do that? We like a little bit of flexibility. And people say to me, can you write me a food plan? Can you write me a food plan? And I'll follow it. Well, that's bullshit, because if you wanted a food plan, there's some that are free, don't even cost you any money, online, and they produce amazing results. It isn't the food plan, it's the mindset that you can't follow a plan consistency for a long period of time. And like I said, it's like when a waiter brings out a hot plate and they tell you don't touch the plate because it's hot. As soon as they turn around to walk off, you're like just touching it gentle just to see how hot is the hot. Because we don't like being told what we can and can't do. So when you have a nutrition plan that says you can't have that and that, all you think about is everything you can't have. So then it becomes cravings, and then you start thinking about it, and sooner or later it's in your mouth. So what we need to accept is that you have control of your situation, but you've got to prioritise yourself. So calories. This is the number one biggest thing, guys. So tracking, we all know, is a pain in the arse. Okay, using MyFitnessPal isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but nor is brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth isn't exciting, but we do it every fucking day. Wiping your arse isn't exciting, but you do it every day. Because the consequences of not doing it outweigh doing it. Listen to that again, guys. The consequences of not doing it outweigh doing it. So that's the same way you've got to think about with your calories and your tracking. This is the number one most important thing, because it doesn't matter how good your diet is, it doesn't matter how many healthy foods you eat, or how many coconut oil things you have, or all this herbal shite. It doesn't matter, because if you're eating too many calories, you are not going to lose fat. Doesn't matter whether every meal you have is chicken and veg. If you're allowed 1,500 calories and you're eating 2,500 calories of chicken and veg, that means you're eating 1,000 calories too many, and it doesn't matter whether it's chicken or veg or not, it's still too much. You have to be in a negative calories for fat loss. So that means you have to be eating slightly less than what you're meant to have. And there's different ways. People, all nutrition plans revolve around less calories. Doesn't matter what way they package it, whether they use portion control, stop when you're 80% full, cut back on certain foods, give you a meal plan, whatever it may be. All plans want you to slightly eat less. So that means you have to know how much you're actually eating. Otherwise, you're just guessing. And if you're not assessing, you are guessing. And not many people I know have guessed their way to success. I know initially, when you start any exercise regime or any nutrition plan, you'll get results straight away, even if you make little changes. But a lot of you have got to a certain point now, whether you're 6, 12, 18, 24 months in, and you might be struggling for results, and you're still not consistent with tracking your calories. So you need to spend probably 2 to 3 weeks of tracking everything you have, and that'll tell you the whole story. Because even with calories, people can eat like a saint Monday to Friday, but they can blow it on a Saturday and Sunday, but they don't track the Saturday and Sunday because they don't want to see it. But they'll track the Monday to Friday, and when they're good, it's not how good is you good, it's how bad is it when you're bad. So tracking your calories, you have to be in negative calories to lose body fat. If you're not tracking, guys, I very much suggest you start doing it, because it takes you less time to track your food than it does to write a status on Facebook or having your nose in other people's business on Facebook instead of sorting your own shit out, concentrating on your own life. So don't give me this malarkey about not having time. So, like I said, everything can fail if you're not in minus calories. So firstly, what I suggest you do, like I said, download MyFitnessPal, input your stats. If you haven't got your stats, get a trainer like me to do them for you. Get someone to help you set it up. Because asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It means I fucking don't know what I'm doing and I need help. That's strength, guys. So don't feel like you're stupid because you don't know what you're doing, but ask people. So protein is the next most important thing. So once you've got your calories right, so whatever calories you're meant to be eating, the next most important thing to produce fat loss is hitting your protein. And like so many people struggle with this one. They tell me that they can't hit their protein targets, but protein translated means first importance, but in our list it's second importance. But out of the 3 macros, which is protein, carbs and fat, protein is of number 1 importance. Okay, so what it does is if you hit your protein levels, so protein keeps you fuller for longer. So the posh word for it is thermogenic. It keeps you fuller for longer. So if you had a nice big bit of steak versus a bowl full of crisps, for example, that's a poor example, but I'll use it. So they'll probably have the same amount of calories, but crisps don't keep you full for very long. They actually make you want more. Whereas if you have a steak, the body takes a lot longer to break it down, so it's using up energy breaking the food down. So it's a lot harder to break down a steak than it is, for example, some crisps or potatoes, rice, anything along those lines. So protein keeps you fuller for longer. So, and also when you're exercising and you're in low calorie, some of you can be susceptible to losing muscle mass. Okay, let me say that again. When you're in negative calories, so if your calories are too low, for example, and you're exercising, what happens is the body needs energy. So the body starts utilising muscle as an energy source. So it starts burning away muscle. And let's get it clear, your muscle mass is one of the biggest factors as to whether you have a good or bad metabolic rate. So that's the rate at which you burn through food. So if you're starving yourself and you're doing loads and loads of exercise and you feel yourself not really losing any weight, it's probably because you're burning muscle and your metabolic rate's dropping. Think about it this way. Your body's one of the smartest things in the world. It's the best thing you will ever own. You won't own anything more responsive and my phone's going off here. You won't have anything that's better than your body. And what happens is, if your body has a certain amount of food for a long amount of time, then all of a sudden you hit a diet and you start feeding your body less and less food. Do you think your body is going to burn at this energy at the same rate even though you're inputting less food? No. What happens is your metabolic rate slows down when you start decreasing food all the time. So yes, decrease your food to a certain point, but then we want to use exercise to help get that loss. Okay? And if you keep your protein high and hit your protein target, then it will stop you from losing the muscle in your body, because the muscle's the one thing you want to keep, because when you've got muscle in your body, it shapes your body really nicely. It keeps your metabolism nice and high. So if you get your protein and calories right, the first two things, you're 80% of the way. You want to aim for 1 gram per pound of weight. So if you weigh 10 stone, for example, that's 140 pounds. There's 14 pounds in a stone. So that'd be 140 grams of protein if I was 10 stone. So you need to look at that, guys. Am I hitting my protein? And I guarantee most of you, if you look back through your nutrition or your MyFitnessPal where you've got evidence, most of it will show you that your protein's a little bit short. And for people who are susceptible to gaining weight, you are carb sensitive. So you can't afford to be having loads and loads of carbs in your diet. So that's even more of a reason to make sure your protein's at a rate that that you should be having, and it should be present in every single meal. Just think, I've put a note down there for bodybuilders. Bodybuilders have high muscle volume. I'm talking about the ones not on steads. And they have high muscle volume, and they can eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And the reason why they can get away with having 7 to 10 meals per day is because their muscle volume's so high that it just burns through everything. So the metabolic rate is so high. I'm not telling you you need to be like a bodybuilder. I'm just telling you the higher your muscle is better for you than having higher body fat levels. So third area of importance, then we look at what are my levels of carbs and fats, because a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on no carbs, I'm stopping carbs. Anybody that's been on a no carb diet knows that you will put on a shitload of weight as soon as you start having carbs. The reason why a low carb diet loses shitload of weight is because you lose this water, H2O. Carbs are carbs, I'm like losing my words here. Carbs help you store water. So if there's no, remember our body is 70% water. Have you ever wondered why when people stop taking carbs that they can lose a ridiculous amount of weight in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I mean ridiculous amounts. Do you think that's body fat? Because I'm telling you straight that it's not body fat. All it is this water. And obviously carbs, I'm going to go a little bit scientific for you. I don't like going scientific. Carbs are obviously get consumed and they turn into glycogen, and that's what stores into your muscle as energy so that you can perform the exercises that you want to do. So if you cut out carbs, then the glycogen in your muscles, your muscle storage for energy drops, your water levels drop, so no wonder your energy levels drop and your weight drops and you feel probably like shit. So it's the wrong way to go about it. So it's the wrong priority. Successful clients hit their carbs, hit their protein, hit their calories, and still implement carbs and fats into their diet. One of the most successful percentages that I use for nutrition plans are 50% carbs, because let me tell you straight, most of the country lives on about a 70 to 75% carb diet. So no wonder we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if I go down to 50, that's already going to start producing results. So 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fat. That is the magic formula I've used personally, and I've used with many clients, and it's produced results. So there's no reason that it shouldn't work for you. And like I said, carbs and fats are portrayed as like the devil in the media, but they're not. There's good versions of every foods. So they need to be available and present in your diet. Do not cut them out, because otherwise when you do put them back in, that you're going to have a rebound effect that's going to produce fat gain. And like I said, nobody's ever felt better being fatter. So third importance, making sure that your carbs and fats are present in your diet. You don't exclude them. You don't exclude them on any day. I know I have a lot of my clients do accelerator days, but they still have carbs and fats present. Never cut them out, because if you do cut them out, you'll notice your weight goes up, down, and the more and more you fuck about with your metabolism, the more and more it won't respond and it'll slow down. So make sure they're in there. Okay? So we need to have nutrient. And so number 4 is nutrient density. So this is making sure that basically your food is of better quality. Okay? So people tell me that all they're concerned about is calories. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, it is the most important thing. But you can't tell me that someone who... So say if you're allowed 1,500 calories and you were eating 1,250 calories, so you wanted to be a little bit below your target because you wanted to lose some fat. So you're not telling me that a person who was eating chicken and veg every day and they were below their calories versus a person that ate Snacker Jacks every day, do you think their body shape would be the same? I wouldn't. The problem with this is a lot of diet foods a carb based, high sugar, because they've got to get the taste from somewhere, carb based, high sugar, and empty of nutrients and vitamins. Remember, we need nutrients and vitamins to make us feel good, to help the body respond, to help us grow. So we need real foods. So when you look at your diet, we looked at calories, we looked at protein, we looked at carbs, and then the next most important thing is that the quality of your food is high. So if you're having microwave meals or eating out all the time, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful. You need to make sure when you're looking at your plate, at least half of it is salad or vegetables. Then the other half can be split into 2/4 where we have protein, and then the other one is carbs. Okay? That's how I want your plates to look. But like I said, the diet that the nutrition plan that we ask is flexible. Because there's no point in me writing out a plan for you. Like I said, it's easy to give someone a fish, let them eat, and then the next time they need food, they need to find someone to give them a fish. But if you teach someone to fish, they'll be able to eat for life. So if I teach people the right process of what they should be looking at with their food, then they'll have long-term success, because it needs to be flexible. They need to know what fits. And the only reason why they're not doing it, why people don't follow a regime, is because it's too restrictive. Like I said, we don't like rules that much. So when you have a meal and it's full of veg, got some protein on it, it makes you feel good. And like I said, you can get fat on healthy foods as well. So nutrition density. So the last thing, number 5, before I go, is scheduling and timing. Yes, it is important. It is important, but it's not as important, because if you put all your focus on when am I going to eat, how often am I going to eat, and you fuck off your calories, you're not hitting your protein targets, you're not doing X, Y, and Z, then your results just aren't going to be as good. So yes, you need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. The reasons why is because to maintain a blood sugar level. Because remember, if your blood sugar level drops, and we know the word hangry, because I get hangry all the time, if you get hangry, that means your blood sugar levels have dropped. It means you've gone too long without food, and you are massively prone to eating shit. We've all been there, we've all done it, let's not lie, we've all ate stuff that we shouldn't have done because we've left ourselves go hungry too long because our preparation hasn't been good enough. So meal frequency is important, because think of it like a bonfire. If you had all your wood, I knew I'd mentioned wood somewhere, Tracy. If you had all your wood and you chucked it on the bonfire, the flame would go vroom, and then it slowly die out and crash and burn. And that's what happens with your energy levels. If you just have 2 big meals per day, you'll have a hell of a high, but you'll have a massive low. And that's where people tend to eat a lot in between meals, because the energy levels and blood sugar levels drop in, rather than putting a little bit of wood on every few hours on the fire, and it just keeps burning nice and steadily, so it maintains your energy levels and blood sugar levels, so that you don't make any stupid decisions. So another rule on here is don't start your day until you finished it. Don't start your day until you finish it. So what that means is, at the end of every day, when you've done your reflection about all the positive things that you've done in that day, you need to plan the next day. Okay, so where am I going? Okay, am I in work tomorrow? Am I having to go any places? Am I in the car? Am I going anywhere at night? Where are the kids? Have I got any hobbies that I'm going to? What time am I going to the gym? All these things, so you can plan your nutrition around it, so there's no lame ass excuses as to why you're not getting the right nutrition and you haven't planned and prepped. So about taking time at the end of every day and thinking, right, I've got to go there, got to go there, got to go there. Right, I need money for there. I'll make a packed lunch for there. I'll take a protein bar for that. I'm making sure you're prepared, because like I said, when that blood sugar level goes low, your decision making goes low with it. So your meal planning schedule is important, and you need to eat every 3 to 4 hours, 4 or 5 times a day. But before you got your 4 to 5 meals, you need to know how many calories you're allowed, so then you can split that into your meals. Because if you're just having 4 to 5 meals and you haven't got a fucking clue about how many calories you're allowed, or how much protein you need, you're just eating 4 times a day, and it's just aimless. So let's just say one more thing. Supplements. Yep, supplements are if you aren't hungry every 3 to 4 hours, do you still need to refuel? The problem is if you leave your body longer than 3 to 4 hours, Gemma, if you leave it every 3 to 4 hours, if you leave it much longer, your blood sugar levels start going lower and lower and lower. And like I said, when that happens, your decision making becomes a lot poorer. And all of a sudden, you might be really, really, really hungry, and you might stop off somewhere or eat stuff that you're not meant to be having, and your muscle, your body should be fed every 3 to 4 hours, because what happens is your body starts utilising other areas if it's hungry. So you do need to refuel. I'm not saying you have to have a massive meal, but it's better to keep topped up all the time than run low, because far more mistakes are found when you run low than if you just keep topping up. So like I said, it could just be something like an apple, it could be something like a protein bar, it could be something really small. It doesn't have to be massive, it's just something to tie you over, and as long as it fits within your calories. So supplements, guys. Supplements, do I agree with them? Yes, they do have a place, but I'm worried that a lot of you are replacing so many things for supplements. They're not a priority, okay? So you're better off getting your vitamins, minerals, protein from food if possible. Then if you can't get it from food, then the next best thing are protein shakes and protein bars, only out of convenience. Because some of us, when we finish our workout and we know we need to have something to eat or drink within 1 hour, a protein shake on the way home is easy. So you've got to find what fits into your life, but you can't have supplements for all your meals, because it's just going to end up in disaster. It's going to fuck about with your metabolic rate, it's going to fuck about with your body, fuck about with your continuity and long-term commitment. And all of a sudden you'll get rebound, you'll feel shit about yourself, it hasn't worked. The same things that happen with juice pluses, Herbalife, stuff like that. It's not maintainable in the long run. I never heard of anyone that's done it for years upon years upon years. It's very short term. So if you want a short term result and you know what it's going to do, then cool. But if you want, why would you want to feel good for short term? And yeah, people could use them as a kickstart, which is cool, but you've got to be very careful when you go from one diet to another. You need a transition phase that's going to, like, if you've got reduced carbs, you need to implement them slowly. So don't waste your money on a lot of supplements, guys. So finishing off, calories most important, track them. protein, you need to hit it. Make sure your fat hit 30% per day. You'll only know this by tracking your food. Make sure you have carbohydrates and fat in your diet. Do not exclude them, because if you exclude them, you're asking for weight gain. Make sure the quality of your food is good, so we want real food, not powder shit all the time. And make sure your timing is every 3 to 4 hours. You eat little and often. Think about the bonfire effect. Has anyone got any questions? I've banged it out. I haven't talked about nutrition in a long time, because like I said, all this means fuck all if your mindset isn't right. If your mindset isn't right, I've just wasted an hour of my time. And if you're not prepared to track your nutrition, I've wasted this time, because it doesn't mean anything if you're not prepared to do it. Your results will dramatically improve if you start tracking it. Don't lie, don't bullshit, just do it. And like I said, concentrate on those in that order: calories, protein, carbs, fat, nutrient density, and meal timings. Concentrate on that in that order and you will produce amazing results. But like I said, it all starts with your calories, and before your calories, it starts with here. You need to fucking believe in yourself, focus, hang around with people that want the best for you, and be willing to push for the long term rather than the short term. Thank you